Sometimes growth doesn't feel like progress. You're working hard, you're learning, you're showing up, but everything feels still. That's the paradox of progress. The more you grow, the less you notice it. So growth often happens quietly beneath awareness. So when you're growing, when you're building your skills, when you're putting in healthy habits into your schedule, when you're changing your habits, when you're doing these different things, and you're looking for an outcome. So when you change your habit or you build a skill, you're looking for a certain outcome from those things. And when you don't see that immediately, that's when your brain thinks, hey, we don't feel like we're making progress here. What you have to realize is your brain is looking for immediate gratification. And the truth of it is the good things that come from building good habits or learning important high-value skills, the fruits of that education and that skill building doesn't crop up until later in your life. And it only crops up after consistent effort and consistent work on it. So I would encourage you to look at your progress in numbers. Write down exactly what you're doing every single day, even down to like the minute. Like, what did you do in the last 15 minutes that moved you towards your goal? So be very clear about your metrics and find tools that make it easy to track. So it's just sort of seamless. You don't want it to feel like you're putting in a ton of effort into tracking stuff, but the more you can track things and look at the numbers, the less you will let your ego hurt you, because when you're looking at the numbers, you can say, hey, I did all this. I'm making progress in this bucket, in that bucket, in this bucket, and I did it however many times this day. There's no room for your ego to really try and make you feel like your effort is less worth than it actually is. Another good tip that I would emphasize that I've tried doing in my life is give yourself quicker rewards. So like when you're building a schedule or you're building some sort of new habit and you want that habit to stick or you want that schedule to stick because you want to be consistent and continue your progress towards whatever goals that you have. Before your big goal, you should have a goal every single, not just every single day, but every single hour. And when you've completed your goal for the hour, give yourself a reward. Do something like go out for like a walk around the block, or read your favorite book, or spend time playing with your puppy. You want to reward yourself you want to give yourself those more immediate rewards, and that's going to keep you motivated to keep going. And you're not going to fall into that trap of I'm not making progress, or feel like you're not making progress, because you'll know if you give yourself a reward every hour, but only when you've completed your task. You can say, oh, I had a reward that hour, I had a reward that hour, so I made a lot of progress for at least 4 hours today, or whatever that number is for you for that particular day. And that's another way to really kind of have a good sense in your mind of how much progress you've made throughout the day towards your ultimate goal that could be like years down the line, right? So one last thing, growth isn't always forward. Sometimes it's deeper, sometimes it's a spiral staircase, and sometimes it's a roller coaster. So sometimes you have to go back to go forward. Sometimes you have to slowly make your way spiraling up, slowly. Sometimes it plateaus and there's spikes and plateaus. And you have to be able to mentally navigate through that. And that's really the only thing that stops people from completing their goals or living up to their full potential, is those mind blocks when you hit a plateau or you go backwards, when you feel like you want to go forwards, so you go backwards. But you have to realize when you go backwards to go forwards, that's ultimately going to bring you forward and get you away from a plateau, right? So you really have to, and I think I might do a video later on of a more in-depth look at like the psychological frameworks or perspectives that are actually going to help you with this. I think that would be really practical, getting into more practical things, and really just having the right mindset in those different situations along your journey is going to get you ultimately where you want to go. So the next time progress feels slow, remember you're probably just adjusting to your new normal. Growth rarely happens when you feel like you're winning. But it's always happening, even when you feel like you're not.